All right, hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic because today we're going to be talking about my dividends because I currently hold about $27,500 in a Questrade portfolio. I hold some money in a CIBC account, and what we're going to do today is I'm going to take you through my dividends for the month of October. We're going to load them all here, going all the way back to the start. We want to go to October 1st. Absolutely. So what we'll do in this video is I'm going to add up all my dividends using a calculator, and then we're going to see exactly how much I got paid out in the month of October for dividends, and then we're going to compare that to the rest of the months throughout the year. And this number 690, I still have more dividends to go, so it's going to be even higher than that. It's a very exciting video, one I'm super excited to make, and I really appreciate you sticking around. We're up to 5,991 subscribers. 450 subscribers in the past 28 days. We're 50 subscribers away from hitting 500 subscribers in the past 28 days. Anyone who's new, who's watching, we do high dividends. I invest in YMAX. I got a bunch of shares here, and I can't wait to tell you about them. So please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys in this video because we're making it right now. Cool. So let's begin. So I want to start with my first dividend here. I could see I got paid a dividend on October 4th, which was for 591 shares of YMAX. Cool. So what did we get paid? We got paid $122.69. So we're going to do 122.69. Awesome. And we have to take off some tax on that because that is not a whole 120. We have $18.40 in tax. 18 subtract 1840. Fantastic. One thing with YMAX is it pays out weekly. So we're going to see these huge dividends, $122, but the thing is I've reinvested along the way, and you'll see exactly how many shares I had along the way. So starting, we had 591 shares. Our next dividend, and what I'm going to do here is we do have smaller dividends here, like $4.15 from 20 shares of YMAX. I'll include that too. Why not? Let's add it all up. So we got 415 and then subtract 62 cents, which was the tax. So we do plus 415. And then we are going to subtract 0.62 for the tax. Okay, awesome. Now we're caught up. Now, our next dividend was this one right here, $120.80 on the same exact amount, 591 shares. So you could see week to week, I did not reinvest any money in buying new shares. So we're going to do this, $120.80 plus 120.80. Boom. And we are going to subtract the tax from that, which was 1812. Let's do that right now. It sounds like the War of 1812, which I don't know about because I'm Canadian. I am not American. Awesome. Let's jump into it a little more. We have $4.09, and we're going to subtract 61 cents. So we got plus $4.09, and we're going to subtract 61.61. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we're currently up to $213.98. This is 2 weeks in to October. You could see here we're only at this marker here, we're only at October 11th. So in terms of our holdings kind of fluctuated here. You can see we actually have over 800 shares now of YMAX. I did a recent buy, which I'll make another video on tomorrow, which is very exciting. But at this point, I only had 591 shares. So you could see even in the past month, I've increased over 200 shares in YMAX, which is kind of cool to see. Now, moving on here, I see we got a little dividend here, which was from something. It looks like 20 shares from YMAX once again. So we have $3.49 and subtract 52 cents. So plus 3.49, and we're going to subtract 0.52. Boom. It looks like YMAX had a dividend decrease here. I actually bought, it looks like I bought about, if I could find it here, up to 728 shares. So you could see I increased about 140 shares, 130, 140 shares right there. And that only paid us a dividend of $127.18. So we'll do 127 plus 127.18. And I just want to show you this Yieldmax dividend before the YMAX dividend before I go to something else. But I seen we have to subtract $19.07. So we're going to subtract $19.07. And I appreciate you sticking around with me. If you're here, give this video a like if you're enjoying so far, and subscribe if you haven't. Come on out. Cool. So we're up to 300 $25.06. Awesome. This is our monthly dividends. But you see here, I added this dividend here, but I totally skipped our ULTY dividend. If you guys didn't know, I actually bought a couple shares of ULTY. A couple, I mean 164 shares. And so I not only hold YMAX, but I hold ULTY. It paid me $135.58. So we're going to add that plus 135 point, what was this number? 135.58.58. Cool. Boom. We're up to 460, but we have to subtract the tax, which was $20.33. So subtract 20.33. Boom. So up to $440. Very cool. Very cool. Everything adds up when it comes to your dividends. These weekly payments are fantastic. If you're able to reinvest, you could definitely compound a lot faster. Now we have another exciting dividend. This one is for 728 shares. So the exact same amount of shares, but you notice how 728 shares, when YMAX paid out a dividend at roughly $17, it was $127, versus they paid out a dividend that was about $22, $23, which paid us significantly more, about $40 more. So we received $165.11. And this is closing in on our last dividend, 165.11. Boom. Up to $605. We're going to subtract your 24.76. So we'll do that now. 24.76. Boom. And it's true, you know, we did receive about $4.54. So we'll add that in there. 4.54. We're almost done. Here we got one more to go, which is subtract 68 cents, which is the tax. Subtract 0.68. Boom. So from our YMAX and ULTY position, roughly about, you can see here, we have $1,600 invested into ULTY. We have about $13,690 invested in YMAX now, and about an extra $300. So about $14,000 invested in YMAX. This actually produced a dividend of $584 in one single month. I think that's pretty fantastic. And the reason why I put $690 here, and you could see that at the current moment it's adding up to about $590, is because I have even more dividends. I hold other Yieldmax ETFs in my CIBC account. And for this account, there's a lot of little payments, but I'm going to kind of ignore those and just take the bigger payments for now, because I'm not going to do all these little $10 payments and whatnot. So that sounds good. We'll kind of get into it here. Starting on October 1st, you can see here, okay, Clip paid me, but this was really a dividend for the previous month, so I'm not going to add that in. But what I did receive is $75.58 of TSOY plus 75.58. Cool. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Now what we'll do is we'll go back. We do have the tax, but what I'll do is I'll kind of just subtract it as we go. It's going to be a little bit here. So we got $11.33. We got to subtract. Boom. So $648. Awesome. Let's continue at CIBC, not the other one. We have a dividend as well from TSOY here, which paid us $20. I'm going to put it at $16. I'm going to do a little bit more of a rough calculation here. You know what? Nah, we're going crazy. We're going through the motion. Why not do the whole thing? We got $20.80. We're going to do the whole thing here because we want to be exact. I want you guys to know exactly how much I'm making. Okay, $669. What a fantastic number. We're going to move on here. We see TSOY tax of $3.12. So let me subtract that now. $3.12. And I understand we're kind of mingling here between Canadian and American dollars. If you were to just take this and assume it's all Canadian, that's exactly how much we made. If not, we've made even more in American. So there's a lot of little like miscellaneous dividends here. Although these dividends do add up, they probably add up to about $30 once added up. Like little dividends from QQQY and YMAX owning a couple shares, but it's not really a huge hitter to the portfolio. But what we did receive was we received $55 in SQY, so I'm going to add that here. Plus $55, and let's see exactly, and 21 cents, 0.21. Boom, 721. This is really crazy to see, actually. This is very cool. And now I'm going to subtract the tax, which is $8.27. Subtract $8.27. And this is going to be our total for our dividends. We're up to $713.39. So when we go here, we are going to subtract that $713.39. And you could see here how our dividends have grown over time. In June, I thought about investing into YMAX, and July was the first month where we really started to see our YMAX dividends. And you can see here, when we look at our dividends, we kind of started the year off and we were a bit flat. This is a reason because the reason for this is because I wasn't really investing any more money. I was kind of just taking what I had and letting it sit. So you can see here, I started about $188, grew down to 168, 169 roughly, stayed at that marker, a couple dividends mixed in between. But then you see I started to invest in YMAX in June. That brought big dividends in July. We jumped from $170 to $250, and I continued to invest heavy, investing and reinvesting. We got up to $326. In September, we got up to $451. And then in October, we got $713.39. That is fantastic growth. I'd like to see this marker at $1,000 next month. $1,000 is going to be my goal in terms of YMAX dividends and dividends from, of course, my Questrade account. Okay, no worries about that. But what am I doing in order to earn this? Well, I just mentioned that I did create a new buy. You notice I had 728 shares of YMAX in this previous dividend here. Well, I actually added about 70 shares or so, which I'll go over the price and exactly why I bought in tomorrow's video, but that is going to help produce me a lot more income. And then in my other accounts, in my margin account, which I don't have up here, I have about $5,000 worth of cash, which I will look to use debt on. So I will have more than a $5,000 investment in order to compound and grow and have even more shares to reinvest. And of course, get us to this $1,000 goal for next month. So if you guys have an income goal, let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, seeing exactly what my portfolio is and how much dividends it brings in on a monthly basis. We hit a new high of $713. Crazy to see that, but we're pushing on. It's great, but we need to see more. We need to work towards more. There's always something more to hit. And I get no greater joy than seeing my account going up, I see my dividends going up, and I see my monthly income rising, which helps me feel a bit more secure and will help me afford the things that I want to potentially buy in the future. So if that does sound good and you're on that same path, we're up to 5,991 subscribers, 9 subscribers away from 6,000 subscribers, and we're bumping up every day. I appreciate you sticking around. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.